Hey everyone, welcome back to another video review. Today we're going to be looking at the Fractal Design Define R4 case. Alright, so right here we've got the Fractal Design Define R4 black case, black pearl that is, and the case is actually available also in white and in titanium gray. Now, this case comes in the stores at a price point of 95 euros, so if you find it for that price or even lower, you got a good price for it. And well, yeah, let's have a quick look at the case. So it's made out of steel and some plastic. The front's actually a plastic front panel, the rest is mostly steel. And this is actually the evolved version of the Define R3, so to say. And I must say that this has the best features. The R3 was very good, I really like that case, but all the things that were wrong in that one, they fixed it here and actually have made this a perfect case. So let's have a quick look at what is all perfect about it. Alright, so this is the front panel of the Fractal Design Define R4 black pearl case, and as you can see it kind of reflects what's in front of it, so yeah, that is quite nice, and it's very fingerprint resistant as well. I've seen a lot worse with other cases. This is quite nice, so you don't really have to clean it constantly. Now if you open it, behind we'll find two 5¼ inch drive bays, and apparently the door likes to close itself, so that's a little annoying. It's the only annoying thing I found so far. But yeah, so two 5¼ inch drive bays, and the covers are very easy to remove, just like that, and you can also just put them in very easily, just like that. Very easy. And then right here we have a fan controller. For you guys who saw the unboxing video, I kind of missed that. I thought there was none included, but there of course is. And you can change from 5 to 7 to 12 volts, so you have 3 speeds. Then right underneath this is the fan intake area. So we actually have a big door here. These were two doors with the Fractal Design Define R3, and well, this is one big door now, as you can see. It just folds down like that. That's it. And then you get this dust filter module here, or the fan bracket, that you can take out by just pushing a little lever here, and then it comes out like that, it swings out. And what you can do now is either take out the dust filter, you can normally just slide that out like that, and then you can clean that separately. So that's very nice, very good. They really constructed this nicely, because in the Define R3 you had to screw out like four screws first, and it was a lot more difficult, and now it's much easier. So you can take that out, or if you want to replace a fan, and I think the cable of the fan here is kind of stuck at the moment, I'll take that out quickly. Yeah, so this is actually completely removable. And then right here you have the fan, and you can install either a 140 or 120 millimeter fan, and each time 2 of those. So stock there is this 140 millimeter fan included. It's also quite easy to just slide this back in, just make sure the cable's in there, and then like that. That's it. So very easy, very nicely designed by Fractal Design. Closes very simple, very easy, and that's it for the front panel. Now here in the top of the case we have a microphone and headphone jack. The reset button, which used to be behind the door, now they moved it to here, which I personally dislike. I really don't like to use that button much, so I did like it more behind the front panel, but in any case that's a small detail that's changed. This is the power button, a very nice button with a I/O-shaped power LED, and then you have 2 USB 3 ports and 2 USB 2 ports. With the R3 it used to be 2 USB 3 ports, and I think Firewire port or an external serial ATA, I'm not sure, but it was something like that. These are a lot of USB ports, and that's very nice to see. Now behind these, on the top panel, we have 2 more areas, and these are top exhaust fan options. But these have the ModuVent system, so this is actually a plate with noise absorbent material on it that is already pre-installed in these optional fan areas, so that there's no dust going to be taken in, and also all the noise is still going to be kept out, or just kept inside the case. That's not going to come out. So these are installed, and you can install either two 140mm fans here or two 120mm fans, and these 120mm fans are positioned like that you can actually also put a 240mm radiator in there. Also note the ventilation holes on the side of the front panel to intake cool air. Now if I have a look at the side panels, you can see that on this side panel, on the left side panel, that there is only one fan option, and it also has the ModuVent system, and you can again install a 140 or a 120mm fan there. On the other side of the case we have just a plain side panel, nothing more going on there. Now on the inside of these side panels there is some noise absorbing material, and I'm going to show you guys this. Alright, so note the noise absorbing material, which makes the side panels quite heavy, but it does keep out a lot of noise, and these are kind of like a, I don't know, kind of rubberish feel. But in that case we're going to test this, and I'll see how loud the case gets, but I don't think it's going to get that loud. Alright, so that's very nice, and also see that the side panels also have very big handles now. On the R3 they were quite small, and that was quite unpractical. Now in the back of the case we have some ventilation holes here on the top. Then there's a 140mm exhaust fan, which is already included, but you can replace that with the 120mm fan if you really want to. There's a hole for the motherboard's I/O shield. Then you have 7 expansion slots and an 8th one right here, also in addition to the R4. And then right here you have the hole for your power supply. And completely on the bottom, now I can show you guys this quite easily, there is a dust filter. And this dust filter is quite easily removable. And this is the dust filter for the power supply's intake fan. And yeah, it's washable and removable. And again, I'm comparing this case a lot with the previous R3, just because many people are probably going to wonder about that as well. But yeah, this is also an improvement. The dust filter can come out more easily. With the R3 it was much more difficult. And so on the bottom of the case you have the dust filter. You've got another intake option here for a bottom 140 or 120mm fan, also covered with the dust filter. And then you have 4 HDPC style feet, and I really like these feet, so that looks really nice. Alright, so on the inside we got the black and white thing going on again. It's really nice to see. I really like that. If I have a look on the motherboard tray, you can see that there's a big CPU cutout, or rather big. I've seen bigger, but yeah, that's probably more than enough. You have enough cable management holes, and they also put a cable management hole here for the CPU power cable, which is very nice to see, because that wasn't there in the R3. Again, to compare it, and I really missed it there, and now it's here, so also a good point. And they're all grounded, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cable management holes. Alright, so let's have a closer look at the case there. Alright, so this is the top panel, or the bottom part of the top panel. You can see the 2 ModuVent systems here, so this is all noise absorbing material. And I'm quickly watching if there is some here above the drive bay areas, but there isn't, but that's not a problem. And alright, then we also have the exhaust fan here, the 120mm exhaust fan. And you can see that it has sleeved cables, a sleeved cable and a 3-pin connector. Right underneath that you see the 7 expansion slots, which or the 8 actually, and they all have thumb screws, very nice to see. And then underneath that the area for your power supply, and if you have a quick look here, you can see that there is a noise absorbing material for between the power supply and the case to reduce noise, and there's also some very good feed here. And quickly I can also show you guys that there is a direct connection for the USB 3 ports on the front panel to your motherboard. Also very good. And oh yes, also these are the cable management holes I just talked about. So this one right here is very nice to see. Very good that they added that, and also the grommets are actually of very high quality. They used to come out quite easily, and with this they don't, so also very nice. Then right here you have the 2 5¼ drive bays, and there is no adapter included to, or at least there isn't. There's no adapter included from 4¼ to 3.5" drive bay, but yeah, don't think many people actually use that, but still, If you want to know that, there is not that is not included. Underneath that, there are the hard drive cages, and as you can see, there's something going on here. So we actually have a total of 8 hard drive brackets, and these hard drive brackets, it's very easy to install a hard drive in that. So basically, these are the grommets that are included to reduce noise, and you put the hard drive on here. Then you use screw them in. They got screws included for that, so that's very good. Also, these are the holes for the SSDs, so you can also install an SSD on this. So either a 2.5-inch drive or a 3.5-inch drive. Now you can install 8 of these, as I said, but the top part here with the 5 brackets is removable. So you remove this thumb screw, and I hope that's everything. Yeah, that's all you have to remove. Then you can take that out, and then you can see that you have the intake fan here, and you have a much better airflow. And also, this weighs quite a lot. Probably it might be 1 kilogram. So it's also making the case a little lighter, and yeah, that improves airflow. So it's very good option they gave here. And also, if you put it back, you could always slide it in like this, so in another angle. So this also improves airflow, and then you can still use the hard drive brackets. Of course, note that there is less space here for graphics cards. Alright, and let's have a quick look at the other side of the motherboard tray. Here you can see there's a lot of options here for cable management, and this has improved a lot since the R3. So there's a lot more space here. There's about 2 centimeters of space, so it's 4/5 of an inch of space here for cable management. This is also improved because the case is wider. Then you have the punch outs and all that, the cable management holes. Again, this is the cable from the fan, by the way, also sleeved again. By the way, you can actually put, I think these are holes for SSD, so you can install 2 SSDs here in the back, and that's actually very good option, because you don't always really have to install it in the brackets there if you don't really have much space left. And yeah, they don't really heat that much, or not always, depends on which one you use, of course. So that's a good option. And yeah, a lot of room here, enough punch outs, except I would have liked more of these punch outs here perhaps, but yeah, that's a small detail that we can work around. So yeah, let's get to the build. And oh yeah, before we get to the build, I am going to show you guys what is included. Next to a very good manual, the manual actually includes all the information that you need to know. So they've got a lot of zip ties that they include. These are the hard drive screws. Then you have extra rubber yeah, grommets for something. Not really sure what these are exactly for. Perhaps for fans. Might be for fans. Then you have these are power supply screws, motherboard screws, thumb screws, and these thumb screws are for the 5.25-inch drives, because they're not tools. So thumb screws are actually tools. Yeah. These are some more small screws, or these are the motherboard screws. Yeah, these are the motherboard screws, and these are the motherboard standoffs. Alright, and this is the build. First of all, yes, there isn't a very big graphics card in the case. If you watched my previous review, I explained there, or actually it's my previous case review, I explained there that I'm not using all the most up-to-date parts these days, because I'm swapping hardware for other things. But yeah, anyway, I did check it though. It's easy to route cables for a bigger graphics card, and installing it, of course, is no problem. Now, a few things here. First of all, yeah, I did use another power supply, and that is the Fractal Design Tesla R2. Now, this is a very nice power supply that actually has very flexible cables. They've also sent me this to use here, and yeah, it's a very good power supply. I used it to well, I used it for this build, and I tested the airflow and everything, and the airflow is very good as well. As I've improved a lot more since the R3, and certainly if you let this hard drive cage here, if you leave that out, the airflow is perfect, really great. Well, it's not perfect though. I said perfect perhaps, but it's not perfect, but it is a lot better than the R3. and it is good as stock cooling. Even, you know, if you wouldn't want to make a gaming system in this, which many people do, or just a home theater PC, but this is one that really is going more to gaming. If you have a look at all the options, but yeah, whatever you do with it, the stock cooling is actually good for most basic setups, or yeah, most basic gaming workstation, or certainly home theater PC. So very good for that. For gaming, if you are going to ask, would I recommend installing extra fans? Well, not immediately, unless you start installing more graphics cards, perhaps with another intake, you know. If you start installing more than in the regular amount, if you start installing hardcore gaming hardware, I would recommend more cooling, but I think then you already also know that yourself. So, the build itself, very easy. You can see that actually cable management was no problem. It looks very clean, and this is without really much trouble. You didn't have to think too much about doing cable management at all, but by itself almost. It was very easy to do. It's certainly with the cables from the power supply, because it's very flexible, so I really like that. No complaints, honestly, just really nothing. Nothing went wrong. There's a lot of space here to install the screws for the motherboard. Nope, no complaints at all. Very, very positive about this. I'm very positive about this. And yeah, let's have a look at the other side of the motherboard tray. Alright, and here's the other side of the motherboard tray. And I'm going to bring you in a bit closer in a second, just so you can see how it's all done. But yeah, this is the cable management. It was very easy. You might have missed, or I said that before in review, but another punch out here would have been nice, because now it's just loose like this. But of course it works, but still, another punch out would have been nice. The cutout is big enough for the CPU cooler retention plate. These cable the grommets and the cable management holes are also good. They don't come out when you stick cables through, which was an issue with the previous R3. Anything else? Nope. Only positive things further from this point. I'm gonna bring you in closer for this. Actually, the cable management is gone really well, and it's very easy to do and end as well. When you put side panel on, there's no friction, or not too much friction, or practically none with the cables. This is because the case is wider than the previous case, the previous R3, and there's a lot of space here. There's 2 centimeters of space here for actually doing the cable management, and that's really very good, and it helps a lot. It makes everything a lot easier. So I did tuck away a lot of cables here. This is because the hardware doesn't support like USB 3, so yeah, negative thing about my motherboard there. But yeah, let's not mind that, it's about the case here. I was able to tuck away cables here even, because there's a lot of space here. Also to put all the cables, if you're going to have a lot of hard drives, you're going to have a lot of SATA power cables, you can route them all here. There's enough room for that, because I've noticed in previous and other cases that sometimes there just isn't enough room for this cables. If you have like 2 hard drives above each other, they give you that option, but if you want to route the cable, there's not enough room, and you're gonna have to push around the cable, and might have, you know, damage it somehow, or damage even the connection with your hard drive, which is not gonna be the case with this case. So yeah, again, very positive about this. Let's get to an overall conclusion. Alright, so the overall conclusion. Yes, I am very fond of this case. Look at it, it's gorgeous. Design is very good. It's improved a lot since the R3. It's just, everything is perfect about it. And I'm gonna say it now, it's getting the Brilliant Award. Why is it getting the Brilliant Award? Well, the airflow has improved a lot, and the airflow now is good. You get big fans, you get dust filters that are easily removable and washable. You get, the airflow is good, but it also is silent. You get a fan controller. The design inside is also nice with the white details. It's also looking really nice. It's comfortable to build your PC in it. Very good cable management. Good options for if you're going a little bit more hardcore. If you do water cooling, for example, you can easily install a 240mm radiator on the top panel. you get actually all the options that you need. You know, even an extra bracket there for if you want extra USB ports or a fan controller or a FireWire port, whatever. You can also add that. You can have long power supplies in it. You can have very long graphics cards in it, because you can also remove the hard drive cage here. And that also improves airflow, by the way. So you can actually remove the hard drive cage, and that improves the length for graphics cards. So you can install graphics cards of practically any length. So don't ask me the question, please. I'm gonna include it in the review anyway somewhere. And well, yeah, I think that's it. It's rather toolless, though. That's the only negative point I could come up with. But still, it's all easy to screw in. You get thumb screws for the 5¼ inch devices, and for the hard drives, you know, you just screw 4 screws on the bracket, and you slide the brackets in the hard drive cage. And honestly, that's all you should do, because sometimes I've noticed with the completely toolless designs that if you put the hard drive on, that the pins that are on it come out and just start to annoy you, and you're just wasting a lot of time with them. With this system, it doesn't happen. I've always liked it, and I'm not going to complain about it. So, that's that. I'm just having a quick look inside the case so I don't forget anything. Yeah, the grommets, by the way, also very good grommets. And yeah, that's basically it, I think. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment area below, or visit our website where you can also leave your comments. That's www.CCReviews.eu. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you guys in the next video. By the way, thanks to Fractal Design for sponsoring us.